I want to ask you a question. Who's coaching you? Who's asking you the tough questions? Who's telling you, man, you're the common denominator to all of your issues and challenges? Who's telling you, man, all day long you become the magnetic pulse that attracts to you both good and bad? I want to be your life coach. I want to be the one that cheers you on to the finish line. I want to be the one that you ask the tough questions. And it doesn't mean that I have all the answers, but that means that you have a partner, someone who believes in you, not the you see right now, but the you can't imagine, the you that you are to become, the you were destined to be. I always say we both need the positive and the negative. It's not enough to have the knowledge of the matter, but we must have the wisdom as well. For wisdom settles it. And that's what I want to offer you as you join me on the Coach's Corner. I want to offer you the wisdom of the matter. Maybe it might be relationships, talking about our campaigns for more, for life, the dark room of our subconscious, our spiritual journey. Whatever it is, I want to be there to encourage you, to build you, to challenge you, to cheer you on to the finish line. I'm qualified to do this. Why? Because I'm you.
Thank you so very much for joining us right here on the Coach's Corner. My name is Marcus Sillett, a.k.a. The Coach. And as we approach the microphone on today, we admit that we have professional and personal challenges here and there. But as we have always said, we believe we're bringing to the microphone the wisdom of the matter. And I would be remiss if I did not say we want to earn the right to speak
into your life.
Yes, sir. And we're continuing on today with the psychology of your change. My name is Marcus Sillett, a.k.a. The Coach. Thank you so much for stopping by. As we move forward, we trust that you will be encouraged. The psychology of your change. Coming up right here on the Coach's Corner. Thank you so very much for joining us on today. We appreciate you. And we're going to go to a small commercial to attend to some things, some technical things here and there. But I want to encourage you to follow us right there on Twitter as we move forward. The Coach's Corner doing a series called The Psychology of Your Change. We'll be right back after the break. And I trust that you are calling, texting, chatting with someone and letting them know that now is the time to tune in to the Coach's Corner. We'll be right back after the break.
Aaron, I was able to save you hundreds.
Yeah, discount, double check, I know. I'm kind of over that move.
So are we.
What?
It's a little, soft.
No, it isn't.
It is.
Yeah, it is. They wanted something with a little,
Like what?
Do it with me. Ready? Discount, double check.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrifying.
Right?
Matthews.
What's up, dude?
He plays football professionally.
Hey, Rogers! Move! Matthews!
You could save big with a discount double check, only from State Farm.
Hurry in for Customer Appreciation Month at Subway. We're saying thanks with $2 6-inch subs all December long. Either the cold cut combo or meatball marinara for $2 each.
Thanks, guys.
Gracias.
Donka.
Go for two.
Subway. Eat fresh.
You do a lot of thinking on a bike. About your life, family, your dreams. One of my dreams came to me on a bike, to open up my own shop. So what happens when you complete a dream? Well, you just start thinking of the next.
Yes, thank you so very much for joining us right here on the Coach's Corner. Listen, we're going to get right into the mix, the psychology of your change. Today, I want to drop on you some wisdoms of the matter regarding the psychology of your change. If you're going to change, you must understand and embrace the preparatory work that is going to be required of your mental conditioning to have a different outcome of your physical circumstance. Let me say that again. You must prepare the mental faculties, the capacity to think and to imagine. You must prepare that ground for the uproar. You must prepare that in a revolutionary way. You must revolt against the pattern of your comfort zone. You must revolt against the pattern of your preferences. You must revolt against the pattern of your own understanding. There's even a biblical principle that says lean not into your own understanding, because the way that you think is the right way could be the way of separation or death. And so if you're going to embrace losing that way, if you're going to embrace letting go of that abusive relationship, if you're going to embrace making more money, if you're going to embrace having a higher altitude by having a better attitude, if you're going to embrace these various change PowerPoints of your life, then you got to understand the psychology of it. It is almost as if one of the points that this is not on my mind for today, but I want to use this for an example when I talk about the psychology of your change. The psychology of your change goes down like this. One of the key areas of our change is often minimized, momentumly speaking, if that's a word. I doubt if that's a word. DJ, bring that music down. One of the key components is minimized when we thank you so much, when we lose sight of the goal because we have no one to celebrate the milestones with. I need some help right there. I said one of the ways that we lose momentum for the change that we're aiming for in the circumstances and the reality we want to create is that we lose momentum because we want to celebrate some milestone and there is no one available who can really, get down with the get down and really make you feel good, because right now you're having a feel good moment. You just crossed the finish line of one of your midterm or one of your long-term or short-term goals, and now you're looking to turn to somebody to celebrate, to talk about it, and there's nobody available. And that is an example of the psychology of your change. In the psychology of your change, you must understand that there may be a celebration of your milestones, by all means, objectively speaking, but you may have to do it alone. I need some help right there. Excuse me. You may have to do it alone. I said you may have to do it alone. I like that. You know what I'm saying? Fly solo, watch this now, fly solo until the flock of your kind is revealed. The reason why we often lose the momentum of the change that we intend to bring forth and create a new reality, a new set of circumstances that is not catch-22, that is not a domino effect, that is not a repercussions of all our past mistakes. Come on, I need some help right there. Is because we are often looking for someone to join in the celebration of our milestones, and there is no one available. That's not really what I meant to talk about today. But it's all right, though. It's all right. The psychology of your change is knowing what it will take to create the newest reality that you imagine, desired, or have been shown. I need some help right there. If you know anything about the Bible, and this is not a Bible study, but sometimes I refer to the Bible. You remember the story about the 12 spies who went up to spy out the land that the Lord was trying to show them that he wanted to give them. And long story short, they went up to spy out the land, and they all came back, with the exception of 2, saying how impossible it would be to accomplish it. In other words, they didn't understand the psychology of the situation. They didn't understand that, listen, what you're looking at, what you're witnessing, what you're peering over into is possibly tangible, possibly possible, right, Coach? All right. But you may have to change your conditioning. You may have to unlearn some things. You may have to relearn some things. You may have to go back to a few memorials. You may have to create some memorials. You may have, as Dr. Tanya Lowe says, you may have to start a riot And that's all change really is an imaginary reality of which now I backtrack and now I study the psychology of that imaginary reality that I want to create, and now I begin to recondition my mind, my body, my spirit, that I may catch up to what my imagination has already finished. I need some help. I said I need some help. That would have been a good place right there for you to tweet the coach and say, Coach, you right on the money. The psychology of your change. So the 12 spies went up, 10 came back with a negative report, to keep it all short, and 2 came back with a different spirit. 2 came back with a different spirit. I said 2 came back with a different spirit. The psychology of your change requires that you have a different spirit about the change you imagine. The psychology of your change requires that you have a different spirit about the reality you want to create. You can't bring the same spirit from yesterday's achievements or even failures or successes into today's clipboard. I need some help. The psychology of your change requires that you take a look at what you must change. Now, here's where we get tripped up again, where we lose. So if you're taking notes, you're going to put this down in your notes. Number one, we lose momentum under the psychology of our change because we want somebody to celebrate the milestones with us, and there's no one available. And number two, we lose momentum in the psychology of our change, all because we're not able to see that it is me, it is you, it is I who hold the central key to my change. So number two's point is, listen, it's not them, it's not they, it's not her, it's not him. It's not my mama, it's not my daddy, it's not my ex-boyfriend, it's not my ex-husband, my ex-girlfriend, my ex-wife. It is not my bishop, it's not my rector, it's not my shepherd. It is not the praise team, it is not them, it's not they, it's not her, it's not him. It is me. If I am going to walk into the imaginary reality that I've either been shown, if I'm a Christian, God will show you the land that he wants you to have. He'll show you the place of enlargement. He'll show you the place where your capacity right now is too small to achieve, but then he wants to know where you embrace and understand and engulf yourself into the study of how I can get this change to become from my imagination to my reality. The psychology of your change requires more than imagination. Study what you get. Who builds a house and don't have blueprints? I need some help. Bring your music back up, DJ. Who builds a house and does not have a blueprint? Let me say it again. Who builds a house and does not have a blueprint? Who builds a house with a blueprint and doesn't have a budget? And a line item budget. How much for the kitchen? Okay. How much for the walk-in closets? Okay. Tell me how much for the furnishings. Okay. We want marble in the kitchen. How much for the kitchen cabinets? How much for the flooring? Come on. I need some help right there. How much for the roofing? Okay. How much for the toiletry? I need some help right here. How much for the wall? Okay. We want this over here. This kind of wood on this wall. How much for the hallway area? We want the stairway to swerve around. I need some help. How much for the light? I mean, a line item budget. So the psychology of your change means you might have to go line by line regarding your actions, not actions of somebody else, but you go line by line on the actions that you are comfortable with that you need to revolt against. Your comfort zone, line by line. The psychology of your change. If you're trying to get a man in your life, the psychology of your change may mean you think that you're attracted to one thing, but you have more success in building friendships over here, but yet you have an imaginary fluke and fantasy about attracting a woman or a man over here. And so you have to decide, are you going to go with your fantasy or are you going to go with the reality of your track record where you've been able to make connections and friends? As I said on one show, yes, I like a woman would say, hey, I like my man tall, dark, and handsome, but she's had more success in developing friendships with men who are short, bald, and light-skinned. I need some help right there. And so she doesn't understand the psychology of how to get what she wants. I got to go to the commercial break. It's the coach.
Follow us now on Twitter at SelectUSA and on Facebook at SelectUSA and join the conversation Anywhere SIBN television and radio is found. This is SIBN Radio. You're listening to the sounds of your lifestyle improvement station.
Hi, Jamaica Chapel, College Park, Georgia, in the house. You're listening to SIBN Radio.
Hi, this is Ted Bones calling from Richmond, Virginia, and you're listening to the Lifestyle Improvement Station, SIBN Radio. Y'all turn it up now.
Hi, this is VJ Washington calling from Atlanta, Georgia. You're listening to the Lifestyle Improvement Station, SIBN Radio. So turn it up.
Hi, my name is Sonia Claiborne from East St. Louis, Illinois, by way of Columbusville, Missouri. You're listening to the Lifestyle Improvement Station, SIBN Radio. Turn it up.
What's good? It's your boy Joe coming from Snellville, Georgia. You're listening to the Lifestyle Improvement Station, SIBN Radio. Y'all turn it up.
You're listening to the sounds of your lifestyle improvement station, changing the way we live. SIBN FM. Powered by Select USA TV.
Listen, I don't have a lot of time. The psychology of your change. If you're not willing to study where you're trying to go, you don't deserve to be there. It's that plain and that simple. It's not enough in life to want something. Let me say that again. DJ Gomes, give me some special effects. It's not enough in life to want it. It's not enough in life to just want it. Yes, break that down. It's not enough in life to imagine it. It's not enough in life to just want it. It's not enough to say, okay, I believe that. That is for me. That's not enough. He's sending us over into a strange land, a land that we've never seen, never tasted the grapes in that land, never mingled in fellowship with the people in that land, never had any of the possessions, never had any ownership in that land. And God, as it were, and through your friends and through your contacts and through the signals and through the circumstances, there's a part of that. He's showing you where you could go. He's showing you what you could do. He's showing you. See, you thought it was about your schedule and about what you're going to do right now. No. That is preparatory work to show you what you're going to do. And so what I'm trying to do in my personal life, Coach is bringing it back down to my life. I'm trying to embrace, okay, what do you want? What is my purpose when I pray, when I meditate? I'm like, okay, what do you want from me, God? What do you want? And God is saying to me, Marcus, I need you to understand the psychology of what I'm trying to do. I need you to learn my way in you. I need you to comprehend that your way is not my way, and that's why you can't get the change that you imagine, because now you gotta backtrack now, and you gotta embrace what it will take. And the two spies, as I spoke of earlier, come back with a different spirit. It's gonna require a different spirit for me to get to the place of purpose. I need some help, because most of us are used to the place of pain. I need some help. You're so used to the place of pain, the place of denial, the place where you get rejected, the place where you're hurt, the place where you're offended, the place where you need to walk in forgiveness, the place of healing. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's a season and time and a place for everything under the sun. But we're not used to the place of prosperity. We're not used to the place of power. We're not used to the place of profit. And we're not even preparing ourselves for the place that we will one day imagine ourselves to be. And I promise you, I am trying to get you to the finish line. I am trying to get you to sit down and study where you're trying to go and what you don't have to get there, but what you might need to adopt, what you may need to embrace, what you may need to release, what you may need to take on. Listen, I got 3 points. I know I've said a lot. You're going to have to download this. And listen, if I had to break this down to 3 points for this part 2, the psychology of the change, as I said, where have I lost the momentum for the possibilities that I want to embrace? Where have I lost it? I've lost it. Number one, I've lost it because the party, DJ, bring that. The party is a party of one. The party is a party of one. I needed somebody to talk to. I needed somebody to celebrate with. I needed, and you may, but I promise you, the fly solo into the flock of your kind is revealed. So milestone number one. So if we were to put this under the auspices of today's thinking, we would say, hey, the psychology of change, this is warnings that you do not lose the momentum of the conditions that you are studying for the change that you want. I need some help. So point one, it's a party of one. I need some help. Are you kidding me right now? Did you see what I just accomplished? Can you feel this excitement that I have? And guess what? You don't have nobody else to share that moment with, that milestone with. It's a party of one. Two, the second thing that causes us to lose momentum in the psychology of our change is we think that it's someone else that holds the key, the central key. But it's me. So it's number one, it's a party of one. Number two, it's me. If it's to be, it's me. If it's to be, it's my divinity. If it's to be, it's me. My spirit must be different. Two spies coming back. Outnumbered 10 to 2. 10 to 2. Outnumbered. Meaning that your destiny will never be popular with others. I need some help. Your purpose, though you may get a lot of likes and though you may get a lot of hurrahs and though you may, if you ask all them folks to go to Fundly, I think the name of it is, and contribute to your purpose, I wonder how many people that you know will contribute to the change that you have already studied that you want. Very few, but it'll be the people that you didn't expect that would contribute to your fund, because that's the way it works. The law of opposites does not never embrace and never guarantees that the people that we're connected to and that we fellowship with will be the people that will support us in our purpose. I need some help. As long as you are in pain, the people that you know are fitting. But when you step into purpose, you will never be able to know who is going to walk with you, because God wants that ability. He wants you to access that by faith. You'll never know who will have your back. And some people will swear to you, I have your back. I'll walk with you. I'll talk with you. I'll back you up. And you can never count on their word. Because under the psychology of change, we understand that there's a law of difference. Under the psychology of change, we understand the law of honor. Under the psychology of change, we understand the law of place. Being in the right place at the right time, which is no coincidence, but providence, providential grace that follows us. And so that's why I said in the last show, part one, about being grateful, because gratefulness is the churn. I don't know. I'm not a farmer, but I grew up in a farm state. Gratefulness is the tilly. Gratefulness is the churning. Preparatory work has to be churned and turned and smashed and then churned and turned again in order for my spirit to be just right to engage the possibilities of my future. And so first we talked about a party of one. Second, we talked about, it's me. It's up to me. Are you serious? Are you serious? You mean my change won't change when he change? You mean my change won't change when she change? You mean my change will only change when I change? OMG. And the third point is, for today's thought, the psychology of your change, how to make sure that your momentum is not impeded or that you do not lose momentum. One, we said it's a party of one. Two, we say it's me, it's up to me. And three, it's work. WORK. What? When I come back from the break, I want to talk to you about how much work it really is. But it's not this work of sweat that I'm going to talk about. It's the work of order that I want to talk about when we come back from the break. Can you believe that I've got to do all of this work? We'll talk about it when we come back from the break, Coach.
The sound of the Coach's Corner. Coach's Corner.
Ready, set, go.
That's right, DCC. Are you ready for the hardcore motivation, daily inspiration, and shore up your spiritual foundation on DCC? If you want more on the go and you need to know, www.415-96radio.com. Join us there as we cheer you on to the finish line of life. This is not your mama show. This show is for the new generation of those young men and women who know and realize that I've done enough foolish things, I've made enough mistakes, and now it is my time to accept the philosophy of DCC. And that is, I am the common denominator to every situation. Join me at www.415-96radio.com. That's www.415-
You're listening to the sound of the Coach's Corner.
Thank you so very much. Got some interns in here pushing some buttons here and there. But listen. I had a thought. Listen. We're so used to the preparatory work of how to avoid the pain that we're not used to the preparatory work of how to enjoy the profit. I need some help. So God sends you over to a land you never seen, you never heard, you never touched, and He tells you to peer over into the land with the eyes of divinity. The eyes of divinity, not with your natural eyes. You're going to see with your natural eyes, of course, by all means, but I want you to peer over into the land. I want to show you something. In other words, the life that you're living now should be something God showed you, not the life that you just imagined, but things that He's constantly showed you that you had to peer over. And all of the indicators were under the law of opposites. No support, no backing, not enough assistance, not enough resources, but because you had a different spirit, it is the spirit that sets the dominant atmosphere. You were able to magnetize your mind, your spirit, your body to attract to you that which was already prepared for you. That's not my closing point, but I wanted to drop that on you. Rewind, and listen to that point again. So let's talk about the work. It is not the work of fools. We're not talking about the work of folly. We're not talking about the grind of flesh only. Yes, you got to get up early. Yes, you got to, work to put the hours in. But it is also the work of tuning in to your spirit. It is the work of following a divine matrix, if you will. It is the work of unwrapping the gift of grace. And it takes some skill, folks. It takes some skill to unwrap the gift of grace, because many of us have been hurt so long, hurt so much, hurt by so many folk, we don't even know how to receive. That's a whole nother topic right there, because the psychology of your change requires that your spirit be different, and the difference in your spirit, the law of difference, remember I talked about the law of difference, means that you can't be in a place of pain. And I'm telling you, as I close, I'm going to tell you my own personal way that this may not be popular with a lot of my friends and family, but I don't even care anymore, because now it's about purpose. When I was in pain, I cared. But now that I'm in purpose, I don't, because I'm not going to carry it on my back. I can't carry pleasing everybody. I can't carry whether or not everybody's going to be happy. I can't carry waiting on somebody's approval. I can't carry waiting on somebody else's affirmation. I must stand up and encourage myself in this thing right about now. The psychology of change, talking about the work. It's not the work. It's not the grind. It's not how much you're willing to put in the time. It is whether or not you're in tune as you go about your natural task. Are you in tune with your spiritual task as well? Because the duality or the triune operation of one ensures that whatever success he or she is engaged in is long lasting. It has longevity to it. There's a level, let me say this, bring the music down, DJ. There's a level of success on physical levels. There's another level of success on soulish levels. There's another level of success on spiritual levels. There's some folks on the spiritual level, they're freakoids. They're imbalanced. They're no good. Heavenly minded are no good. There's some folks that are only in tune with their soul. There are others that are only in tune with their bodies. I got to get ready to get out of here. But if you put the triune, operational, meditational, motivational, inspirational, foundational things together, body, soul, and spirit, beloved, I wish that you would prosper, even as if you ever get your body, soul, and spirit to prosper as one, OMG, that's my time. That's my time. The work is not the grind that they talk about when you put in your time. The work is the triune operational of who you were destined and intended to be, body, soul, and spirit, walking in complete harmony with every intention to be a transmitter of purpose. And I promise you, Those who impress others on the physical realm find limits. Those who impress others on the soulish realm find limitations. And those who impress others with how much they know spiritually, they are limited too. But you take the three dynamics of how we're made, body, soul, and spirit, and put it together under the auspices of authority and order. Learning how to take time off. See, that's that rest. That's that rest. The fourth leg of the race is rest. Knowing how to rest, because fresh ideas, fresh concepts come to you under the auspices of rest. Rest. See. Fresh ideas and concepts come to you out of spiritual devotion. But we don't hinge it on that alone. I want you to be empowered today to understand where you are going requires a different conditioning. It requires a different mindset. It requires a different spirit. And you know what? We even go as far as to say that when we peer over into the land of which we imagine that we could be there, we come back and we make our report to our friends and family and we say, you know, I'm going to Melbourne, Australia to cover the International AIDS Conference, as I have been invited to do. And listen, if you don't get there, if you aim high, you fall somewhere close to it. But you come back from peering over into the land and you say, you know what, this is what's going to happen. Now I'm preparing to get my passport. Now I'm going to prepare to get my line item budget for my proposals that I want to give to companies. You see where I'm going? So you come back from peering over and you begin to plot and plan, because now you realize under the psychology of where you're supposed to be, you don't even have the tools, but now you embrace the possibilities. And then before you know it, you become magnetized and attract to you new resources, new platforms of power and influence. You begin to make impacts and inroads into purpose for real. All this other stuff was preparatory work to get you there. Until next time, if you dare, follow me on Twitter at Select USA TV. This is the Coach. Listening to SIBN Radio on the Select USA TV iBroadcasting Network. You're listening to SIBN Radio.